Cleopatra, a name that echoes through history not simply as a queen of Egypt, but as a force powerful enough to shake the foundations of Rome. In this story, we explore why Rome feared her more than any Egyptian ruler before her. To understand this fear, we must step inside her mind and see the world the way she saw it, not as a land divided between giant empires, but as a chessboard in which every single move mattered. From the moment Cleopatra took the throne, she demonstrated something almost no other ancient monarch possessed in equal measure: intelligence sharpened by education, command of strategy, a masterful understanding of human psychology, and an ability to adapt to the most unpredictable political storms. She was not a passive ruler, she was a strategist who had prepared herself for power long before she ever held the crown. Cleopatra was one of the few leaders of her age who spoke multiple languages. Ancient sources claim she spoke the languages of Ethiopians, Arabs, Syrians, Medes, Parthians, and, of course, Egyptian and Greek. In a world where kings and queens needed interpreters, she needed no one. When she sat with foreign envoys, she understood every shade of meaning, every hint of tension, and every unspoken intention. Rome knew very well that a ruler who could negotiate without a translator was dangerous, because language is power. It disarms opponents, it breaks diplomatic barriers, and it gives a ruler the ability to win hearts before a sword is ever drawn. But her power went far beyond languages. Cleopatra was a master of alliances, and she knew exactly when to build them and when to reshape them. Her first major political alliance was with Julius Caesar. Many people reduce it to simple romance, but the truth is far larger. Cleopatra understood that to secure Egypt, she needed Rome. To secure her throne, she needed Caesar's recognition. And to strengthen her dynasty, she needed stability. Caesar gave her that, but the relationship benefited Caesar just as much. He gained access to Egypt's enormous wealth, grain, ships, and political influence. Rome saw that Cleopatra was not a follower. She was a partner, and an equal partner in ancient politics was a serious threat. After Caesar's assassination, Cleopatra read the chaos of Rome better than most Roman politicians. The Republic was collapsing, power was scattering, and Rome was hunting for new rulers. She studied the rising figures of Mark Antony and Octavian. She understood their ambitions and their weaknesses, and she chose the one who could best protect Egypt. Her alliance with Mark Antony was not just a union of two people, it was the merging of two political visions. Antony needed Egypt's wealth and naval strength. Cleopatra needed a powerful Roman commander who would recognize Egypt not as a conquered land, but as an independent ally. Together, they formed a political force strong enough to challenge the future emperor, Octavian. This terrified Rome more than anything else. A Roman general and the Queen of Egypt working as one, a partnership of resources, armies, and nations. Cleopatra was not simply supporting Antony, she was shaping military decisions, she was financing campaigns, she was commanding fleets. She was influencing alliances all across the eastern Mediterranean. No pharaoh before her had ever influenced Rome on this level. And there was something else that Rome feared even more: Cleopatra's ability to inspire loyalty. She was not a queen who ruled from a distant, isolated throne. She traveled through her kingdom. She understood her people. She restored temples. She opened trade routes. She stabilized the economy at a time when Egypt was threatened by drought and conflict. Egypt prospered under her leadership, and a prosperous Egypt was a powerful Egypt. Rome did not want a strong neighbor, it wanted a dependent one. But Cleopatra refused to bow. She insisted on independence. She stood as the last great monarch of the ancient world who dared to define her own destiny. Octavian realized that defeating Antony was not enough. He needed to crush Cleopatra because she represented an idea far more dangerous. A woman who could compete with Rome, a leader who could negotiate like a diplomat, command like a general, and influence politics like a statesman. She was one of the only foreign rulers Rome had ever treated as an equal opponent. That recognition itself was fear disguised as respect. When the final war between Octavian and the alliance of Cleopatra and Antony erupted, it was not just a conflict over territory, it was a war of political vision. Rome believed one empire should rule the Mediterranean. Cleopatra believed nations had the right to stand beside Rome, not under it. Her defeat at the Battle of Actium marked the end of Egyptian independence. But her legacy did not fade. Rome wrote propaganda to destroy her image. Yet they could never erase the reality that she was one of the most capable leaders of her age. In truth, Rome feared Cleopatra because she showed the world a simple truth. Power is not always measured in armies. Sometimes, it lies in the mind, in diplomacy, in vision, and in the courage to challenge an empire. Cleopatra dared to stand against the greatest power of her time. She built alliances that shifted global politics. She spoke languages that opened doors others could not. And she ruled the kingdom with such intelligence that Rome knew defeating her would not be easy. Her story remains a reminder that history is often shaped not by those who conquer the most land, but by those who can read the world with clarity and act with unwavering purpose. Cleopatra was that kind of leader, and that is why Rome feared her more than any pharaoh who ever ruled Egypt. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, be sure to subscribe for more.